Did you know? The youngest person to ever enlist in the United States military was a young man from Texas named Calvin Graham. After lying about his age, Calvin Graham was sworn into the United States Navy on August 15, 1942, at the ripe old age of 12 years, 4 months, and 12 days. Calvin was eager to escape an abusive stepfather, so he started plotting about how he could get away. He began to think of things that could make him look older. He started shaving, wearing his older brother's clothes, and started intentionally deepening his voice. After forging his mother's signature and arguing with a military dentist about his age, Calvin was finally able to escape and join the U.S. Navy. At the time of his enlistment, Calvin stood 5 foot 2 inches tall and weighed 125 pounds. After attending boot camp in San Diego, he was assigned to the USS South Dakota as a 40mm anti-aircraft gunloader. On November 30, 1942, the USS South Dakota was involved in a battle with the Japanese Navy in the South Pacific. The naval destroyer was hit a total of 47 times by enemy fire. During the fight, Calvin was blown up and suffered severe burns, shrapnel injuries, and he lost his 2 front teeth. Despite his injuries, Calvin rendered aid to his fellow sailors by applying tourniquets and moving the injured to safer locations on board the ship. Calvin was awarded a Bronze Star and Purple Heart for his valiant effort during the Guadalcanal campaign. However, at some point following the battle, Calvin's mother saw him on a newsreel and reported his actual age to the Navy brass, and Calvin was quickly arrested and stripped of his military decorations. While incarcerated, Calvin was able to get a letter out to his sister explaining his situation. After receiving his letter, Calvin's sister wrote to the newspaper telling them that her brother, a decorated veteran, was being held in jail despite his service. The Navy received so much bad press that they were forced to release Calvin from custody. Following his release, Calvin Graham was dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Navy on April 5, 1943. After multiple failed appeals, Calvin was finally granted an honorable discharge over 30 years later in 1978, and his awards were reinstated. Never stop learning. Become the most interesting person in any room.